that Illinois families can trust.
I'm Rodney Davis, candidate for Congress, and I approve this message.
Paper by Rodney for Congress.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. My guest on the phone this morning is Terri Miller-Casey. She is Extension Director for the U of I Extension in Logan, Menard, and Sangamon counties. The morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Terri, a good morning to you. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic.
Beautiful summer day, right?
Yeah, until it gets, about, well, now, because it's already heading toward the 90s. But yeah, it's beautiful.
It is. And that means, of course, Terri, that it is fair season because we can't have fairs without blazing summer heat. What's going on with the fairs where you're at?
You're so right. 4-H shows and heat, we go together.
Exactly. It's like peanut butter and jelly, right?
You betcha. It's time when the temperature rises. But yeah, it's very exciting. The best time of the year. It's 4-H show time.
So what do you have? Where are 4-H shows happening right now for you?
Yeah, well, our Sangamon County 4-H show is happening this weekend on June 25th and 26th. And we have our show out at the Sangamon County Fairgrounds. And the kids are excited, the staff's excited, the volunteers are excited. So this weekend, we're going to see the best of the best on display with these young folks. We're going to see their general projects on Saturday, and then we're going to see livestock on Saturday and Sunday.
Now, when it comes to, Terri, the Sangamon County Fair this year, the 4-H Fair, what are numbers like? How did things turn out for the kids this year?
Really well. We're really excited. We're seeing we were afraid, we've mentioned many times, that we would see some downtick because of the last couple years being a little bit tough with the pandemic, but we've seen numbers great. Last year, we did a modified show, and our numbers were still great. So we're looking forward to a show this year that, we don't have as many restrictions. In fact, right now, knock on wood and cross our fingers, it's looking fantastic. So the kids are going to be able to fully participate. We're going to bring back the family of the Sangamon County 4-H Foundation. What awesome volunteers. They're bringing back the family picnic so the kids can have that chance to get together with other kids and families. And it's been great. We've been really, really excited about the enthusiasm we've seen from our 4-H family. Where
does the Sangamon County 4-H Fair take place at?
Yeah, it's at the Sangamon County Fairgrounds. So if you've ever been to New Berlin, Illinois, it's out there at the fairgrounds. Of course, they just had their fair last week. And so right on the heels of that, we have our 4-H show.
Very good. So 4-H show going on. Now, with that said, Terri, how do you need volunteers for this show? What are volunteers like in terms of, numbers and things? What are you looking at there?
Well, we are great. We have a wonderful team of volunteers, many of them seasoned pros who've done it many times. We also have some new volunteers. That's always exciting. And actually, you find the good and the bad. While the pandemic had many things about it we didn't like, one of the things is it helped us create some new scheduling and some new ways of doing things. And some of those things, even though we don't have to do them this year, we're continuing because we found that the families really and the volunteers really enjoyed. And one of the changes is scheduled showing times. Used to be in the old days, the kid would show up at the project and they would check in, and then they would be put on a list, and you'd kind of just wait in each project area until you've shown all your projects. But now each kid gets a specific time that they come and show. And so that way there's less waiting, which was great during the pandemic. But now we find that folks like it because they feel like it's very efficient. They know when they're going to show, and we can get people in and out in a really efficient way. So that was one of those things that we kept because the families and the volunteers really enjoyed it.
I was just going to say, one of those kind of silver linings, we all had to adapt and try different things. And this is one of those that will carry on, it sounds like. That's great.
Yeah. And that's, testament to the great staff and volunteers that we have for thinking of such great solutions, really.
Yeah, for sure. I know you're very passionate, Terri, about 4-H and the 4-H fair and all of those things. What is your favorite part about this time of the year?
Oh, now you're making me pick. It's like picking your children, It's the kids, seeing the excitement that they have. They've worked all year, and they have, just to see their face light up after they've talked to the judge, give someone a high five, and feel so great about what they've done. And that, to me, that is what it's all about, seeing those kids grow, seeing them turn into the people that, they're destined to become. And that's it right there. That gets me.
When it comes, again, our guest on the phone today, Terri Miller Casey. She is the Extension Director for the U of I Extension in Logan, Menard, and Sangamon counties, and the Sangamon County 4-H Fair is here. And so, Terri, anything else on this weekend you want to mention? Anything else on 4-H that we haven't touched on, kind of in retrospect, I guess, for this year? How about that?
Oh, gosh. Just the kids are doing great. The projects are, they're working very, very hard on their projects. And if somebody just happens to want to go on out to New Berlin this weekend, you can view the exhibits that the kids have put together. Our general show is actually the Sangamon and Menard kids. They join forces and do the general project show. And so come on by, come out and look at their projects, and you'll be impressed by what these kids can do. Every year it seems like it's just so much better. I can't imagine doing some of these things that these young people are doing today when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So come on out and view those general projects. And also, if you're out and about on Saturday evening or during the day on Sunday, you can look at those general projects, which will be on display. But you can also come out and see the dog show and the goat show, and you can see all the livestock shows, the swine show, the beef show. Come out and see. It's great. If you've not had an experience with that, if maybe you've never seen livestock shows and you're kind of curious, come on out and see what these kids are doing with their projects. You'd be very impressed at the amount of work and how responsible these young people are.
And I know we've talked about this, over our many visits, Terri, but I think especially for folks, maybe they haven't, checked in on 4-H in some time, and maybe they stop in and see these projects. They'll probably be surprised to find that 4-H has really evolved beyond just kind of the agriculture aspect. Now you mentioned the dog show, there's robotics, there's so much more that doesn't just encompass agriculture. 4-H has really adapted with the times, not just in recent times either.
Oh, absolutely. You'll come and you'll see robotics. You'll see drones, kids who do drones projects. You'll see electric projects. You'll see welding. You'll see computer programming. It runs the gamut. We have our traditional show items, which are great and still serve a wonderful purpose, but we continue to evolve and add things to express new interests that kids might have or new industries that are coming around. And of course, my favorite, I love the foods, but they won't let me eat them, but they look fantastic.
No doubt. So a lot going on. Again, Terri, anything on this weekend's 4-H show in Sangamon and Menard counties? How about that?
Oh, just if you got a chance to come out and cheer the kids on, come out and do it. You want to feel good about the future of this country, go to a 4-H show.
Terri, let's talk a little bit about what else is coming up on your radar and your calendar. What do you have for us today?
Well, speaking of young people exploring their futures, we have a 4-H Ag Exploration Day coming up July 14th, and it's going to be from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the Lincoln Land Community College Kircher Agriculture Center in Springfield. And it's for 4-H members who are in grade 7 through 12th grade. So it's hitting that middle school, high school age kid. Pre-registration is required, and you can contact our office. But it's going to be a great way for these 4-Hers to learn about careers in ag. And if they're curious about, do I want to go into animal science? But I might want to go into crop and soils, food sciences and technologies, ag communication and business. Those are all opportunities to explore on this 4-H Ag Exploration Day.
Very good. Do they need to sign up for that or anything of that nature?
Yes, it's like I said, it's open to 4-H members, and they do need to pre-register, and they can contact our office to do that. You can either look us up on the web at extension.illinois.edu/LMS, or you can call the Sangamon County Extension office at 217-782-4617.
Sure. Terri, from your perspective, what are the benefits of students that take part in that?
Oh, I just think it's a great opportunity to just explore. One, it's going to be done at the Lincoln Land Community College New Ag Center. I got a chance to tour it recently. It is a wonderful facility, a real jewel for our community. And so I think the young people would be very impressed with the modern facility that's available to them. And they get to know more about the faculty that teaches the classes there at Lincoln Land. and really get a chance to dive into, what would it be like if I studied agriculture.
And it's an industry and a field that is always in need of people and continues to grow.
Oh, absolutely. Food, without food, the world doesn't, turn, as they say. We can't survive without food. So we need our young folks to really get involved in the different aspects and many different aspects of agriculture and that industry and that science as well. So I think there's a whole generation of young people who may have this desire to want to help the world and have a desire to do, the tech side of things or the science side of things, but they may never have considered agriculture. And this is a great opportunity. You don't have to have grown up on a farm to work in the ag industry.
Absolutely. So again, Terri, the when and where on that, and you mentioned registration, how folks get registered.
Again, you can contact us. And like I said, if you just go to extension.illinois.edu/LMS and go to our events page, you'll find it there. Or you can always get your web browser out and just type in extension Sangamon County, and you'll find us that way too.
Awesome. Well, Terri, I'll tell you what, I look at the clock. Let's take a time out. You mentioned those ways to find the U of I extension. Is there, in terms of social media presence, extension on social media at all? How about that?
Yeah, absolutely. We are on Facebook, and you can look at the Extension Wide Systems Facebook by going to facebook.com/UI extension. And they have lots of updates from all the different topics that Extension does. I think most people have their mind blown when they find out just how many different topics Extension touches and has educational outreach. Or you can find our local Facebook page at facebook.com/extension LMS.
That is Terri Miller Casey with the University of Illinois Extension, our guest on the phone here for this morning, and the morning show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agents in Clinton. More to come on the morning show.
WHOW.
Let's check the opening numbers now at the Chicago Board of Trade on this Tuesday. I'm Jim Taylor for the RFD Radio Network. Corn, beans, and wheat all starting the day lower. July corn, 767.5 down 17. September corn down 19 3/4, 718. And December new crop 710. That's down 21. July beans, 1681 1/4, down 20 3/4. August beans down 23.5, 1598 3/4. November new crop, 1510 3/4, down 26 3/4. July wheat starting the day 1019, down 15 1/4. September wheat down 15, 1031 3/4. And December wheat 1048. That's down 13 1/4. July bean meal, 433.80, down 430. And July bean oil, 72.48. That's down to $1.31. Look at the opening numbers at the Chicago Board of Trade for this Tuesday morning. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
Having a hard time finding the correct new car, truck, SUV, or crossover to fit your needs? This is Scott Baum from Bob Chevrolet Buick here in Clinton. Some lots look low on inventory, so go to our website, look at our pre-order and reserve tab. You'll see inventory in transit, which are built and on their way to Clinton, and in production, new Chevys and Buicks, which are being built and will arrive soon. Or you can always call our sales team. They can help you find the correct one just for you. BombChevyBuick.com, right from the start.
Here's a supply chain update from your Clinton Save-A-Lot. Owner Dave Jackson here. Workers in retail and restaurants today are doing the best they can under very trying circumstances. That situation is no different here at your Clinton Save-A-Lot. It's been a team effort to keep our shelves stocked with the freshest meat, produce, and items you purchase every day. While many stores have cut hours and services, your Clinton Save-A-Lot has maintained our staffing level and regular hours thanks to my fantastic team of employees. Your Clinton Save-A-Lot appreciates your business, and we hope to see you soon.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Terri Miller Casey, director of the U of I Extension in Logan, Menard, and Sangamon counties, our guest on the phone today. And Terri, we've got a couple of programs. The always look forward to Dudley Smith Field Day coming our way at the end of the month. Tell us about this and when it is.
Yeah, this is actually happening in a county just to the south of us in Christian County. And if you've never been to a Dudley Smith Farm Field Day, you're missing out. So definitely get on down there on Thursday, June 30th from 9:30 to 1 p.m. You're going to learn some of the latest research that affects farming and also a lot of grazing information if you've got livestock that graze. And hey, you're going to get a free lunch too. It's a no-cost program. So go learn some fantastic things, meet some great people, and get a free lunch.
Very good. So put that on the radar. Anything else on that program, Terry, in terms of maybe what farmers will be learning about this year or anything of that nature?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to start off with a program called How Are Soil Health Benefits of Cover Crops Impacted by Grazing? So if you're doing cover crops and you have grazing, you may want to know, how is that going to affect my soil health? So that's a great topic to discuss. Another one is the farm of the future is here, and that's Dennis Bowman. He's an extension specialist in digital agriculture, and he's going to talk about those what used to seem so futuristic advancements. They're on the farm now, and they're happening, and he's going to kind of run down some of those latest advancements that are going to be making their ways to fields around central Illinois. And then it's going to be on to the next program of expanding regenerative grazing in Illinois. So great topic there. Regenerative grazing is obviously something that a lot of folks are seeing the benefits of and wanting to do and work more with. So you can learn more about it at the Dudley Smith Farm Field Day. It's a lot of words to get out there, Seth. And then the last and final program is going to be managing beef cattle in an organic crop rotation without perennial pastures. Now that's a mouthful too, but there's a lot to learn. And that's going to be a local farmer who's going to talk about how he's managed his beef cattle with his organic crop rotation and how he's made it work. So it's going to be right from the farmer's mouth on some techniques there. So again, that is on June 30th, which is a Thursday. And if you want to attend and you want to get that free lunch to go along with all that amazing information you're going to learn, you're going to have to sign up by Friday, June 24th. And you can find that information on our website.
Very good. So, and if I'm not mistaken, this is a pretty big deal. I know our farm broadcaster goes there. He might do a live remote. I can't remember. There's so much we do on this station in terms of ag, but yeah, that's a pretty popular event, though, if I'm remembering correctly, right?
Yeah. And actually, when I worked in that unit, which it's in Christian County, I often got to interact with all you good folks doing live broadcasts from Dudley Smith, and we always appreciated that. But a wonderful crowd. It's always pretty full, and it's also not just do you learn a lot of great information and get research, in real time, so to speak. You get to meet and network with other folks who are in ag and have maybe similar things they're trying or similar interests or similar farming operations. And so it's a great networking opportunity as well.
For sure. So check it out. Be a part of it. Should be a good one. Again, that's June 30th. Correct, Terry?
That is correct.
All right. Very good. Again, Terri Miller Casey is Extension Director for the U of I Extension in Logan, Menard, and Sangamon Counties. Our guest on the phone. What else is coming our way, Terry? I know there's a program in July you want to talk about. What do you have for us?
Yeah. So a lot of folks are feeling the pinch of fighting those lawn and garden weeds right now. I know I am.
Yeah.
So you're like, what is this weed and how do I get rid of it? Well, we're going to have a program on July 12th at 1:30 p.m. It's actually a webinar. So no matter where you're at, you can participate and it's free of charge. And you're going to learn how to identify those common lawn and garden weeds and then what to do about them. And if you're like me, sometimes pulling them over and over again gets a little bit tedious. So maybe there's better ways that we can prevent those weeds from causing us to have a not very pleasant garden.
Sure. So, and this year particularly, especially as it gets dry, I venture a guess those weeds are going to be thriving with all this dry weather.
It never fails.
Yeah. It's amazing, right? You can't you water the garden, the weeds come. You don't water the garden, the weeds come. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, well, there's always a weed. There's a weed for all seasons. Remember that.
True. Yes.
So if it's too wet, there's a weed that likes that. If it's too dry, there's a weed that likes that. Yeah, it seems like it never fails. No matter what the weather condition, there's some weed that's going to like it.
Yep.
It's really important to know what you're dealing with so that you can fight the battle with knowledge. Sure.
Now, again, Terry, is this one we need to get registered for? How does this work?
Yeah, you'll need to pre-register because they will send you a packet of information. But again, it is completely free and it is an online webinar. So anyone, anywhere can participate on July 12th at 1:30 p.m. You can go to our website and go to our events tab And there, if you scroll down, you will see identifying common lawn and garden weeds, and just click on that. Click on the registration link, fill it out, and you'll be ready to go.
Easy enough. Terry, anything else on that webinar?
Not on that webinar, but it is part of a series. So if you want to learn more, there's a summer and fall blooming plant webinar as well as part of this series, and that is on August 16th at 1:30 p.m.
All right. So is this the first of the series, or have there been lessons before this?
Well, we actually have one today at 1:30 p.m. and I didn't check to see if the registration was still up, but you might be able to still sneak into that one. And that's native versus cultivars, and that's the other part. And that is today at 1:30 p.m. And like I said, I didn't even check to see if registration was still open for that, but you could always try.
Well, how does one find out if registration is still open for that?
Place. You go to our website, go to the events tab, and you click on this, and it'll have the information that you'll see. It should be one of the top events popping up today.
All right, easy enough. Terry, what else is on your calendar coming up here?
Well, looking ahead, we're going to have the Menard County Fair, and that's going to be coming up in July 19th through 24th. And actually, the next time we talk, Seth, will be the first day of that fair. So I look forward to talking and highlighting Menard County fairs at that time. Now,
when is Logan County's fair?
Logan County Fair is later. It's actually one of the latest fairs in the entire state system. And we're going to have beginning exhibits on July 30th in Logan County at the Logan County Fairgrounds. So that's one of the late season ones, and it's always nice and warm.
You mentioned it's always nice and warm. It's always late. It kind of butts up against the start of school, and then of course the state fair. So
it's right before the state fair. So we jump right from that right into state fair.
Absolutely. So Terry, just in terms of 4-H itself, anything you want to mention there about how the year has gone? I know that the fairs kind of culminate the entire 4-H calendar, if you will. Anything on 4-H that we haven't touched on today you want to put out there for us?
Well, I just want to say we're super proud of the kids, and we love our 4-H members and their families, and we appreciate all the work that they put into it. We definitely want to thank our volunteers. We have lots of very dedicated volunteers who do a lot of work to make sure these shows go without a hitch. So we want to thank them. And lastly, I want to thank our 4-H staff who work very, very hard and often behind the scenes to make sure that these kids have that opportunity. So just a big thank you all the way around.
Yeah, and 4-H fair, is probably a good time for kids and families that may be looking at participating in 4-H down the road to come out and just see what the end of the year looks like and talk to those 4-H members at that time.
Oh, yeah. You take your kid to a 4-H show who's not in 4-H, and they're going to be definitely nagging you to make sure they get to do it next year, because that's also one of the most exciting things, is to see the other kids enjoying the other 4-H members' projects. They really inspire each other. Sure.
Well, Terry, again, where do folks go to learn about all things U of I Extension?
Yeah, well, check us out online at extension.illinois.edu/LMS. You can always call any of our offices. If you go to our website, there's phone numbers there for everyone. But I've said Sangamon County's phone number, so I'm going to say Logan County's now at 217-732-8289.
Terri Miller Casey, University of Illinois Extension in Logan, Menard, Sangamon County's on the phone with us. Network News is next.
The Big 1520 WHOW Clinton, 92.3 FM, W222 BG Clinton, 106.5 FM, W293 DJ Normal Bloomington.
From townhall.com, I'm Rich Thomason. He is not saying I told